Vince, what about you? What do you have, and what kind of experiences have you had with your journey in life?
Well, this is a really good timing of a question because so much of what I've been working on in personal growth has related to these six fundamental basic needs. And the question of certainty, uncertainty, it's a tough one in the sense of you're trying to not take yourself too seriously, be kind to yourself, you know, um, look at things as play, fun and enjoyment. And really what it comes down to is how can you reduce the amount of stress? And stress is one of those things where we hear about it, it's the killer, besides salt. But the things that stress does to our physiological body and how our mind can you know induce and create ailments, and even down to when you think about how you deal with really tough situations, and then how people get through that. So, I just finished watching a series from Dr. Joe Dispenza called Rewired, and it was really, really fascinating because I had been learning about a lot of these principles and a lot of these, things, and I'm such a science data geek where the woo woo sometimes isn't as I don't align as much, but I'm watching this and I'm watching him explain in this series about how like the physiological side of things does it, and then how specifically certainty and uncertainty plays a major role in our journey, because you're right, we want both. Sometimes we want security in this, but most of the time we want fun and excitement and jumping on the plane, the next thing, or romance and all these other things too. So, that the balance, that dance is such a fascinating thing where I think at the end of the day, for all these things, it just comes down to perception and mindset. So no matter what, when bad things happen, we can see and have gratitude, and we can see the positive things, and we can realize that the universe has a different plan for us or whatnot, and it's okay to be scared and it's okay to have fear, but there's things you can do to minimize that or change that mindset where you know um, all is not lost. And that's where we as a society and a culture need to evolve into providing more of that mental fitness, as Mr. Black said, and the resiliency side.
And that makes perfect sense, and I agree with you. And you brought up something in there I think is key, and Vince, you were talking about stress, right? And whether, no matter how you look at this, I would say that the certainty side of it is what could potentially produce stress, because you are trying so hard to really nail down every A, every dot, every I, cross every T, and make sure everything's in line. So that's,
Perfection.
yeah, perfectionism, right? And then, however, the flip side of that coin is the uncertainty is kind of what relieves the stress, right? It's that adventurous side of you. It's that throw your cares to the wind and do that piece. So trying to find, as you said, that balance of that is an important thing. And that's really why I wanted to start at the top with these two, because initially it just creates this conflict that you really have to understand when we talk about the basic needs of humans, um, that's there, and that's where some of the stress may be coming from in your life. But if you're unaware that you have a need for both sides of that coin, the certainty piece and the uncertainty piece, and that's not something you're aware of, that could be causing a lot of conflict in your life and a lot of stress in your life, and you're questioning your own decision making and why did I really crave this but also really crave that kind of thing, right?